Hey everyone, we're here with America, Land of the Slaves. This is part 8, and with this section, we're talking about all the truths that are not being spoken about. And in this particular section, we'll do the truth about gun control. I don't know how many people really understand the severity of the issue with gun control and why a lot of people are upset about the fact that their rights might be taken away. But we're here today to talk with you guys about this issue, show some evidence of what's going on, and just chat and maybe discuss some things to educate some people. I have my friend Don here, and he's awesome. He is going to comment with me on this video today.
Yeah, hello folks.
That was Mr. Don right there. And so, the truth about gun control. Would you like to explain what this video talked about, Don?
Sure. When you look at history, every time a dictator took over a country, the first thing he did was take away the guns from the people. And then the next thing he did after he confiscated all the guns, he wiped them all out because they were defenseless.
This is true. And I think
it kind of concerns
crazy.
me.
Yes, it concerns me as well. I mean, isn't it interesting that the Second Amendment is the right to bear arms, and it is part of the Constitution. We all agree, as being Americans, that we follow the Constitution, and that is our right. And I don't understand why there's even a debate ever that that right should be taken from us for whatever reason. Now, however, if the reason was valid, it would be good debate. Is the reason valid? Now we should ask, Don. Do you think
that would
it's
be
valid?
a no.
You know, I mean...
You know, depending on who's making the definitions up.
Yeah, right? Jesus. Well, we're going to talk about this with you guys. We're excited to get into this because it's really important that people look at this and understand what's serious about controlling guns, taking people's rights to basically defend themselves away from them. And we'll get started. Here we go. The truth about gun control.
The Second Amendment is under siege, and not for the first time. To the Americans of the 13 colonies, self-defense was both a right and a duty. All colonies, except Pennsylvania, required gun ownership by militiamen, most adult males. Many colonies also mandated gun ownership by the head of a household, including a woman if she was the head, and sometimes required the carrying of guns when traveling or when going to public meetings, such as church services. The original public meaning of the Second Amendment was safeguarding the natural right to own and carry arms for all legitimate purposes. The difference between self-defense against a criminal invader in the home or against a criminal tyrant with his standing army was only one of scale. Immediately after the Civil War, Southern states enacted black codes designed to keep ex-slaves in de facto slavery. Mississippi's provision was typical. No freedman, quote, shall keep or carry firearms of any kind or any ammunition without police permission. In areas where the...
I'm going to
Good
pause
luck
this
getting
real
police
quick.
permission.
Right? So, it's interesting because, you know how some people ask, you know, would they really do something like this to us? Are they really, you know, planning to disarm us and so on and so forth?
Sure
They did it with the slaves. It just, I mean...
That's what they did in China, and that's what they're going to do here.
Exactly. This is...
And once they get away with it, and they keep trying, and they seem to be making progress, you know, the longer time goes on.
Mm-hmm.
They keep trying. They never give up. They
Yeah.
keep coming back with more.
I mean, it's not stopping, guys, and we're not standing up enough to show them that they need to.
And they've actually gone to people's houses and confiscated their guns.
Yes, it's already
when they
happening.
needed them the most. Look up Hurricane Katrina.
That's true.
Confiscation of guns. Check that out. So don't tell me they ain't doing it.
Right?
Civil rights attorney Albion Tourget, who represented Homer Plessy in Plessy versus Ferguson, recounted, quote, almost universally, the first thing done was to disarm the Negroes and leave them defenseless.
Leave them defenseless.
The Ku Klux Klan was America's first gun control group, as well as America's first domestic terrorist organization. Jim Crow laws became the foundation of gun control in America. These laws spread north in the early decades of the 20th century, aimed primarily...
Did you guys just hear that? He said Jim Crow laws became the foundation of gun control. That is actually something completely new to me. I really didn't know that it actually came from...
Jim Crow?
Right, Jim Crow laws. But that's something I'm going to have to research as well as you guys.
I would say so, because I never even heard of Jim Crows.
Yes, this is...
He must have been somebody powerful down south that made laws.
Well, Jim Crow... You know what? Actually, we'll come back in another video sometime and explain that.
Yeah, maybe
later.
next time.
Yeah, we'll just continue with the video.
At immigrants or labor agitators, or in response to blacks defending themselves against race riots. By the 1920s, movements were afoot to ban all handguns and to require the registration of all guns. But in 1941, Congress decided to ban federal gun registration. Congress was looking in horror at mass shootings and mass murders by many other methods taking place in Nazi-occupied Europe and in the Soviet Union. They could see how gun registration lists compiled by democratic governments, such as the Weimar Republic in Germany or the Third Republic in France, were being used for gun confiscation once the totalitarians took over.
Why do you think they want us to register?
Every episode of genocide in the past century...
Why do you think they want us to register our guns?
So they know exactly where they are at all times, so it'd be so easy just go in and swoop them up.
Exactly. I mean, you guys, we understand it's hard to really, like, accept that somebody that you care for and that you support is going against you or has lied to you, but... In order for us to move on as a society and flourish and become extraordinary, we have to admit our faults and pick up from them and make sure that they don't happen again. And the first way we can do that is through education. So once again, we're going to continue, you guys. Hope you're getting some good information so far.
It's been preceded by assiduous efforts to first disarm the victims. Turkish Armenia, the Holocaust, the USSR, Soviet-occupied Poland, Guatemala under the military dictatorship of the 1950s, Mao's China, Chiang Kai-shek's White Terror, Uganda under Idi Amin, Cambodia under Pol Pot, Zimbabwe, Darfur, and many more. Of course, not every government that uses registration lists for mass confiscation is intent on genocide, but it's indisputable that the genocidaires seem to consider gun confiscation to be a crucial precondition for genocide. Today, the call for national gun registration is back. President Obama is using the murders at Sandy Hook Elementary School to promote registration, as well as massive bans on firearms and gun magazines. What is ultimately at stake is the same question that precipitated the American Revolution: whether the American people are the sovereigns in their own country, or whether they should be ruled from above for their own good, according to the supposedly benevolent commands of the elitist rulers of a European-style society.
And Don, what is your answer to that?
Well, I think the Founding Fathers intended us to be sovereign in our own country.
Right.
That's what I think.
Right, and this is where we go back to the title of this series.
Not be ruled from above.
Exactly. This country has turned into a slave land. I mean, it was never meant to be this way. We have a constitution for a reason. It is to protect our rights from people who try to gain power, get control over us, and make us their slaves. So I don't understand, how people can think that this is okay to take people's guns simply because they're scared that somebody might go and shoot up a school There's many military members who are in Iraq who would rather be stationed outside of a school protecting them than shooting innocent children and women in war.
Halfway around the world, by the way,
Exactly.
I'd love to have a Marine in high school taking care of people.
We want real solutions, not this fake dream world mess that they delivered to us on mainstream media. Alright, you guys, so we're going to be back in the next video, and this one's going to continue on with Alex Jones' blueprint to defeat the new, not Alex, I just messed that completely up. I meant we're going to come back with Alex Jones's versus Piers Morgan on gun control. Alex Jones owns Piers Morgan in this this video, and remember in our last video we were talking about how the corrupt media will make people seem like they're crazy on air to simply get their point of view across so that people don't go look into the truth. Well, they tried to do it to Alex Jones, and Alex Jones just went off and he started a campaign and wanted Piers Morgan to be,
deported from the United States of America for his view on the Second Amendment.
Right.
Which I totally agree with, by the way.
Exactly, because how are you going to come into our country and then you're going to vote for people to have their guns taken away from them? That is their Second Amendment right. You're coming in to change our Constitution like that? You got to be kidding me, dude. But in this video we go into this in detail, and it's awesome because it just clearly shows what we all as members of society need to do. We need to stand up against corrupt things, corrupt people,
but the best
corrupt
part
messages.
Alex Jones owns them.
Yes, that is the best part.
This is the best part.
So folks, to see him own him, just come back with part 9, and we'll see you. Thanks for watching.